Hi there, my name is Kat Courtney. I am the CEO of a little company called Plant Medicine People, and I really love to do work in sacred ceremony with master plants. But it is a very dicey, very amplified, intense experience, especially in relationship to spirit. So what I'm talking about today is how to know if we have an entity attachment. First thing I'd like to do when we talk about things like entity is A, define them, and B, normalize them. So entities, as we're going to use the term today, refers to energies or spirits that want to intentionally attach to us humans because we got a lot of life force. We got a lot of light and energy. And that's not only a tasty snack, but also a necessary component of feeling vital and conscious. And so, spirits and energies and things that are not yet developed in the higher vibrations where they have easy access to this kind of energy themselves, they often want to take it from other energies like us. I normalize it because it's just a natural part of being in the world. And the best comparison I can give around normalizing this is that entities are like energetic parasites. We know that parasites are just a nature of being in this world. Not everybody will be conscious of having them, but everybody has them. We all have little beings that live off our life force, and sometimes they cause us illness. A lot of times they just kind of coexist and we don't even really know they're there. But we know that they exist, and we can kind of accept like, okay, even though I can't see them, they're so small, they exist. Think of entities in the same way. They are energetic, intangible energies that work the very same way that parasites do. They attach to us and they feed off of us, okay? So it's just normalizing it that it's okay that entities exist. It's okay that sometimes we become a tasty snack for them. There's always a path of purification. And this is, at least in the work that I do, it's a rite of passage that I've had many times over now, and I will again. So it's totally okay. This happens. We don't have to get super scared and spin out in fear and all of that, but to normalize it, even though sometimes it can be really severe and it can be really scary. So how do you know? Today's topic is really, how do you know that you have an entity attachment? The honest answer to that is you kind of don't, in a tangible way, at least not in the way that the mind is often satisfied with, but there's one very essential clue. If you're let's just say we're dealing with an individual that isn't ourselves, because it's easy to see it in other people than it is to see it in ourselves. The telltale sign is that the energy of the person is in complete denial and or a lack of accountability for any of the symptoms, any of the obvious signs. In other words, their propensity is just to say, no, that's not me, it's you, or it's somebody else, or it's the universe, or like they're not able to see their own shadow with regards to the specific topic that the entity is maybe working with them. It could be pervasive across the board, but if it's pervasive across the board, it's often just a character element of them, a lack of awareness, and a significant part of wounding. So what you're looking for regarding an entity is an individual who otherwise is able to be accountable and responsible, who you can bring something to and say, hey, how did you create this conflict or whatnot? And they're able to go, oh yeah, I can see where I was a part of that. But there might be an area of their lives where they aren't, where they're completely shut down in that. Let's just say in relationship, it might show up that there's an entity accessing somebody's heart space, and they have no ability in the sense of a given relationship to be accountable for the conflict that might be occurring. So the entity attachment, although there's not a test for it, there's a lot of us that see them and sense them and that know that they are real, that can validate it. But, one of the surefire, there it is, signs is this lack of accountability. And of course, that's true for recognizing it in ourselves as well. So entity attachments often comes with a really deep sense of denial. No, because the entity that attaches to us wants us to be in that state of denial, because as soon as we recognize that we have one, we are on the road to purifying from it. So that's why that is a big warning sign that perhaps what somebody is dealing with is not just an internal wounding or a trauma, but a possible entity attachment as well. I know there's a lot more to cover in this, so please feel free to ask me questions in the comments below if there's a part of this you'd like me to dig deeper with in the future. But I thank you so much for listening. Please absolutely subscribe to our channel. Hop over to Instagram and see me there at Plant Medicine People. And I just really appreciate your presence and your care in these topics. Be well out there.